So you at the moment are in the midfield about, I don't know, right here, somewhere, anywhere over in these three dots, or if they're not positioned on this little curve right here. Somebody pointed out last replay analysis that I always say, I'm not one to point out mechanical mistakes usually, and then I do. Hey, what's up YouTube? It feels like it's been a while since we've done one of these replay analysis for my viewers slash Discord members slash subscribers. So here we are, we're picking up where we left off for Andre, who has been done and featured on this channel a couple times now. He's getting another replay analysis. I love that because I get to see him improve as these go on. If you want to get a replay analysis done for yourself, join my Discord. The link is in the description down below. Completely free. All you have to do is post a replay file or a YouTube video link with your replay in the replay analysis chat channel, or if you're a subscriber to my Twitch or Patreon, you can submit your analysis to the sub only replay analysis chat channel, and those get done before all the free ones. So, you know, if you're in a hurry to get it done, I would recommend subscribing to the Twitch or the Patreon and submitting your analysis in those channels, because otherwise you'll probably be waiting about a month to get your analysis done, if not longer. Also, with that said, follow me on Twitch. That link is also in the description down below. I stream every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then sometimes a little bit more scattered throughout the week, but usually Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday are my stream days. Always a good time there, and I love seeing you guys come over from the YouTube channel to the Twitch channel and say what's up when I'm streaming. So make sure go down below to the description right now and follow me on Twitch. Click that follow button. I would really appreciate it. And the last thing I would really appreciate, guys, is if you use TikTok, follow me on TikTok. That link is also in the description. I post a lot of short clips from these YouTube videos that I make here. And so if you don't have time to watch these entire YouTube videos, that's a great place to be, is on my TikTok, because some of the best moments from these videos goes on to my TikTok. So it's kind of a nice, quick, digestible way to get some of this information that you would get from these YouTube videos, but faster. But I still recommend watching these whole videos because there's a lot of little small things that might not make it to the TikTok that are in these videos. With all that out of the way, guys, let's begin this analysis for Andre. What rank is he? I forget. Let me find out really quick. All right, he's champ 2 and he is solo queue. Usually he plays and submits replays with a teammate, but he is solo queue in this analysis. Let's get into it. All right, kickoff's looking pretty good. Good positioning so far. Really well done, really well done. That touch could have been a little better. It actually ended up working out pretty well for you, but I don't think you meant to hit this the way that you did. It was kind of a really soft touch. If you would have got a little bit more power on this touch and actually put it off the sidewall here. Let me go back right before you turn off your ball cam. This will be a really good perspective. So right here, if you would have been able to get a little bit more on this side of the ball on your run up to this, and put it off the sidewall, I think this would have been a really threatening play, because this would have bounced back. Your other opponent is right over here off of your screen. You can't see him. And then you've got another opponent right here. This ball, if you were to punt this off the sidewall, would bounce out towards midfield. And this is the only defender here. You can possibly beat him or take a 50-50 with him. And then his other teammate is kind of worthless right now with his positioning and his boost him out, because he just challenged the ball. Let's go back one more time, so you can see how this play sort of develops. So there's one whiff. Bakar is pushing up now after whiffing. Saab just whiffed. So a lot of whiffing, a lot of boost usage by the other team. And right here, if you're able to put this off of the sidewall and set yourself up to be able to go again, which you do with this touch. It's just, I don't think this was your plan in your head. I think it would have been really good to put this off the sidewall, because it will accelerate this play really quickly and make it really threatening really fast. And this is sort of the only man back right now, and he's likely low resources, low boost right now, because they sort of were panicking on defense, whiffing the ball, using boosts, and not even hitting the ball. So you've got them in a really good spot right now for you, bad spot for them. And so you want to try to capitalize on that as fast as possible. Because you got your opponents in a tough spot right now, try to set yourself up really quickly to be on offense and to attack that net while they're in a bad spot. Try to take advantage of them being in a bad spot ASAP. All right, so far so good. Carry that. Ooh, okay. A little panicky, right? This could have been a lot easier, a lot cleaner if you just let this ball come down to the ground and catch it. Now, sometimes even I will make the judgment call, okay, I'm not completely confident in catching this. I'm just going to take the touch so I don't mess up an own goal. But ideally, you let this ball come down to the ground and you catch it and bring it to your corner nice and controlled. Pretty much the same outcome here. Would have liked to see you grab that boost. You don't really need it. You've got 60, but I don't believe your teammate is going to be in position to need that boost either. Nice play around both people. Should be a free goal for your teammate. Nice play. Really good job. So this is a really good passing opportunity to pass middle, unless your teammate just got his boost stolen, which might have happened. Okay. Where's your teammate at in this play? Okay, so in hindsight, it's actually not a good passing opportunity. Yeah, I don't hate that you're trying to solo play this. In my mind, I was thinking, which I think, your teammate should be pushing up towards middle here, even if he got the boost stolen. Let me see your teammate, see if he got his boost stolen here. He did. He got his boost stolen, and then he's going all the way back to the corner for boost. Ideally, though, he should be picking up pads and staying closer, because by going all the way back to his corner here, he's putting a lot of distance between you and him. And, from past replay analysis, most of you will probably remember the tip. Think of the field as divided into 9 squares in a grid like this. Let me draw this better. I always mess up this drawing like this. If I can make every square the same size, that's a bit better. So you, at the moment, are in the midfield about, I don't know, right here-ish. Your teammate is, at the moment, let's say he's about right here-ish, right? And he's making the commitment to go all the way back to the corner, putting practically from here to here, that's an entire grid length of distance between you two. And ideally, you want to stay within a grid length of space away from your teammate. So if you're here, your teammate should be no further than about here, which in this situation, in this play, would be about in this area here. But he is going all the way back to the corner. And sorry if this is confusing to look at the way I'm explaining it, but he is abandoning, say, this is this position right here. This dot is this position, this area. He's going all the way back to the corner, which is putting him all the way over here. And he's just putting too much space between you two. Ideally, he would want to stay within this grid space away from you. So he should be in midfield for a pass here. And I suppose you don't have to pass, right? You don't always have to pass. You can make the solo play sometimes. Personally, I would have expected my teammate to be closer in midfield, grabbing pads. And once I saw I had all this space, I'd be looking to pass this midfield. And your teammate coming in from the back can set it up to the backboard. If nobody's on backboard, which nobody is, he can pass it back to you. He can take a shot. But in this position, you know, you're in a decent spot to do a lot of the same things. You could put this backboard. Notice there's nobody on the backboard right now. So setting it up to the backboard would be a really good play. You always want to pay attention, right? If nobody is either positioned on the backboard already, you know, somewhere, anywhere over in these three dots, or if they're not positioned on this little curve right here so that they can drive up on the backboard if you hit it to the backboard, and that's a great time to abuse the backboard, to utilize the backboard as part of your play. So right here, I would recognize there's nobody covering any portion of the backboard here, so I would make a pass to the backboard, bang it off the backboard. And depending on the bounce, you know, if you hit this waterfall area and it's gonna bounce straight down, I would advise going for it because it's really hard for the defense to read that. And you always want to, if you have a ball coming down off the waterfall, it's almost always worth going for, because your opponents will miss that so often. And if you don't go for it, then you missed an opportunity to get a free goal because of it. But otherwise, if it's not hitting off of that waterfall portion, I would just, you know, consider it a pass and then leave it for your teammate, because you don't want to hit it to the backboard and then go for it again, and then your teammate's also going for it because he thought it was a pass, which it is a pass. So after you would hit it to the backboard, you want to leave it for your teammate to come in and score it, or at least threaten to score it. And then your last option here is just a dribble. That touch, not good. I don't know if you know that's obviously not good, but I was going to say obviously not good. It looks like you're not really making up your mind in time about whether you want to hit this to the backboard or whether you want to catch it for a dribble. So you're late on trying to get to the ball to catch it, and you end up just doing that. Would have really loved to see you either smash this to the backboard or get underneath it for a catch. Good try. Ooh, nice. You're playing the sidewall plays pretty well. You're not really going for a lot of like silly mechanical plays off of the sidewall, and so far both times you've gotten rewarded for it. I feel like a lot of people at your rank would be trying to, you know, do something crazy off the sidewall like musty or flip reset or ceiling shot, and you're just kind of staying behind the ball, forcing your opponents to come to you, outplaying them, and you've gotten rewarded for it so far. Really well done off the sidewalls. Whenever the ball is kind of shadowing the wall, you've done well. Oh, that was that was open. That was just a bit of panic. I don't know why you're panicking here. I was sort of expecting you to try to get vision of your opponent here on your run up. But also you could have, you know, swung out a little bit, make this shot a little easier on yourself. If you drive out this way just a tad bit, the ball continues going this way, and then you're on the outside of the ball to be able to shoot this easier into the net. Instead of, by the time the ball gets here, you're arriving straight on with it. Actually, you're kind of on the left side of it, and that's what makes it so hard to hit the ball, to score the shot. But if you just veer off this way a little bit, open up that angle to shoot a little bit more, it'd be a little bit easier for you. But this was definitely scoreable, definitely an open net. Just let that one go. That's not bad. After you fake challenge this, I would leave this ball. Ideally, I would leave this ball. Your teammate should be able to come and challenge this. He should be able to come from this angle and get this touch as the ball is coming this direction if you just rotate out. But at the very least, you took a safe touch to your corner, which is good, which is you know, if you're gonna make a touch here, that's probably the best touch you could have made. But I think you should have just rotated out on this, left it for your teammate to come and challenge, which it looks like he was looking for a midfield pass. Either that or he was just turning around and rotating back because he saw you were still on the ball. That's most likely what was actually happening here. Which I was thinking when I was explaining what you should do, that this is a, you know, this is a ball that if you were to, yeah, you can't really catch up to this ball in time to get it midfield. But even if you could, in solo queue, that's not really a good play to make. You're kind of just, I don't know, there's a flow, right? There's rotations of positioning that go into the game, and making that play, it just, your teammate would never be ready for it. So trying to pass this midfield, honestly, I don't think it would work more often than not. I think you should have just rotated out here and let your teammate come challenge. But again, at the very least, you hit it into open space in your back corner where your teammate can collect it for free with a ton of space. So that was a really good touch at the very least. Okay, one quick thing here is you see this is a possibly threatening ball. Your teammate's touch here wasn't the greatest. Kind of sets up the opponent to be able to shoot. So get yourself in the position in net quicker, because with where you ended up stopping, you're not in a good position here to save a shot, right? If this shot ends up being good, he's got this entire portion of the net to shoot on where you can't really get to it and save it. You can only sort of save anything in this vicinity here. So either you should have continued driving up forward a little bit more and then power slid into position facing the opposite post. Messing up my arrow a little bit. You know, sort of that way. So that way you can cover this entire region nice and easily. Or stay parked at the back post where you rotated in, and, you know, obviously face the opposite post again, and you can save everything in this area. Which in this situation, right, you had a lot of momentum coming in at this point in time to the back post. It was going to be hard to stop and make that recognition in that moment. So I think your better option would have been, as soon as you notice this was a threatening ball, get to that near post, face out to the far post. That way you can, again, save anything that might come your way. Oh, hey. That's those silly plays I was just talking about earlier off of the walls. Right here, this is a really bad play, Andre. I'm not gonna lie, right? Think about the outcomes of this. All right, so you're on the back wall. Your opponents are over in this area over here. I mean, the best thing you could do in this position, I think, would be to just let this ball continue on its trajectory. Maybe stay behind it in the air like you are right now and just shadow it down as it comes down towards the ground and possibly land on this boost, grab the boost, and then continue your play. But with the touch you're attempting to make, the musty, if you were to land the musty, all that's going to do is bang this ball off of the sidewall back into the midfield where your opponents can come in and make an attack. So this play would have been really bad if you hit this musty, because you would be in the air out of the play and your opponents would be in midfield exactly where this ball would be coming out if you did hit this musty. The only other option you have here is to try to make a double tap or a pinch off of the sidewall. But if that was what your intention was, going for the musty is the hardest possible way you could have been going to try to do that. Right, all you have to do is flip into this ball, and hit it to the sidewall and follow it up for the double tap. Or don't even flip into this ball, just fly into it, stay on the same trajectory, double tap it as it comes off the wall. But either just following the ball to the corner and possibly collecting the boost as you come down this way, and then, you know, following up on the play, or making the double tap off of the sidewall are your best two options here. No reason to go for the must here. So, I mean, all right. Somebody pointed out last replay analysis that I always say, I'm not one to point out mechanical mistakes usually, and then I do. But when it's something easy to point out like this, then I point it out. As I was praising you for not making like these mechanical attempts off of the wall and you were getting rewarded for it, you started doing so. So, you know, a little bit of caster curse, a little bit of commentary curse going on here. But if you're gonna go for the ceiling shot in this position with where the ball is, you don't have to jump off the wall. All you have to do in this position to set yourself up for a ceiling shot is just drive into the ball, and the ball will sort of stick to the wall and come up the curve and start falling down. And meanwhile, you as well are just driving up the wall behind the ball, and you're just perfectly set up falling behind the ball as it sets up for your ceiling shot. You didn't have to jump here to set yourself up. If you were just to drive into this ball lightly, curve the ball up the wall, off the ceiling, it starts falling, you're on the ceiling, you start falling behind the ball, you're all good and dandy. This touch could have been better. You know, you're only champ 2, so I don't know what to expect out of your teammate in this situation. It looks like he's kind of parking himself in the net here. Let me go back and see what he does here. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, he's coming to the net in case he's needed, in case you get demoed, in case the ball gets past you, which is fine. So it's up to you to decide where this play is going to go, how this play is going to develop. And let's see if you've already decided how this play could have been better, right? You've watched a lot of my replay analysis. You've gotten a lot of replay analysis done yourself. See if you know what I'm going to say here. Bam, you know your teammate's off to your right-hand side. So you could have tried to take this touch more to the right-hand side where there's a ton of open space and your teammate can be the next on the ball, right? Let this ball get a little bit more in front of you. Obviously, you want to avoid getting demoed. So after he makes his touch here, you just don't move for an extra second here. Let this ball bounce out in front of you, and then you hit it up to the right, where there's all this open space out this way. Your teammate's over in that direction. He can grab a full boost. He can grab pads and follow up the ball. And it's just better than hitting it up midfield where there's a defender waiting who could have gone up instantly and gotten a touch on the ball, or where, you know, he's a lot closer to be able to defend the play a lot easier, and you're just kind of left chasing after the ball. So if there's open space where you know your teammate is, and you know your teammate can follow up the ball in that open space, try to set him up in that open space to be able to go for the ball. What do you got? Not the best, not the best. Got to work on them air dribbles a little bit still. Right, the only issue here is you're not putting enough speed into the ball. You're not putting enough momentum into the ball. You're kind of just, right, you gotta get this ball going towards the net, going forward. So you gotta boost through this. Like this touch here, you need to boost through this touch. Put a little bit more power into it, get it moving forward. You're kind of just shadowing the ball downwards. Makes it pretty easy to save and to stop. Ooh, good try, good try. Good job picking up your pads on this rotation back. I'm pretty sure I pointed out a lot in the past how you wouldn't path over pads. So glad to see you're picking up some pads here. Okay. Issue here. Might be obvious, might not be. Right? You're challenging this ball. That's fine. That's dandy. After you don't get this challenge, I would have loved to see you grab that mid boost. One, you don't want to rotate back into the play. You're probably just trying to interfere with him, make it easier on your teammate. But in this play, that's not necessary. You should have kept driving back this way, grab that full boost, steal that boost, and give yourself 100 boost, right? You're both taking away resources for your opponent's continued attack, continued offense. Because as they make a play and they rotate out for boost to try to stay on offense, that mid boost won't be there because you took it. And then also you're on 0 boost right now, so you could use it. So grab that full 100 boost and then rotate back around behind your teammate over this direction who would be coming in the challenge. And then no matter what happens, you know, you've got that double layer of defense. Your teammate's here challenging first. If he gets beat, you're behind him. You get the next challenge. So because of this rotation and because there was no like development of the play yet, your opponent's at a dead stop doing a half flip 50 on the ball or half flip touch on the ball. He's got no speed, no momentum. I think he's low boost as well, just based on how the play has been going so far. There's not a lot of speed coming towards your net. You have time to go grab that full boost, let your teammate challenge, and rotate it behind him. It would have been the better play here for shizzle. Nice. Beautiful. Your pathing over pads can still be a little bit better, right? In this opportunity, this is I mean, it's not like a 1v1 skill, but this is a situation that arises in 1v1s a lot, right? You're stuck with no boost defending, and as this ball, right? Imagine you're in a 1v1 with Krisav right now. What you would want to do is actually drive up to that pad right in front of you because you have time, right? He can't go for the ball yet, but you're 0 boost. You can't go for the ball, and he's got you beat in this position. So you want to be safe and get ready to defend. But because the ball's so high in the air, he's backwards. You know you have time. Come up, grab a couple pads around this outer box as you come towards the net. Instead, you just veer immediately to the net, and now you're in net with 0 boost, having to defend. But you had time, again, because this ball's so high, your opponent's backwards. There's no threat at this moment. And anytime there's no threat and you're stuck on defense with 0 boost, you want to try to pick up as many pads as you can in that small window of time. You could have got probably at least two pads in that small window of time that you had before he was able to shoot. Ooh. And forth. All right, this, I mean, your positioning on this ball isn't great, right? If you're trying to bait them in or you're trying to take control of this for a dribble, your positioning isn't great to begin with because, right, what are your options here? If you do successfully bait in your opponents and you're going to flick them or something, I mean, your only play in this position to play this ball past anyone who could be challenging would be to hit it into your corner. So your positioning here isn't ideal to begin with. You want to get a little bit more behind the ball. That way, if you see somebody challenging, you can jump and block a shot nice and easy, or you can flick it forwards past them or off of your side wall where you can follow it up versus off your corner where the next attacker is still going to have an attack. So your positioning here to get behind the ball was pretty bad. But secondly, I love giving general rules of thumb because it's like the easiest way to utilize information and to remember information. Here, great general rule of thumb to remember is if the game is winding down and you're in the lead, start expecting your opponents to be more aggressive. They're going to start going for like every single scoring opportunity possible because they obviously have to score. So when the game's winding down and you're in the lead, you've gotta lock down and close down and shut down those scoring opportunities a lot quicker and a lot more often, right? Sometimes you expect like, oh, why would you go for that? That's such a low percentage play. It doesn't make sense. Why are you going for that? Well, again, they're almost out of time. They have no choice. They have to. And that's, also vice versa. It's riskier for them because they have to score. They have to commit to like low percentage plays because they've only got a little bit longer to possibly get back in the game. So while they're going to be more aggressive and you're forced to play the ball out of danger earlier, you can't really bait them as often or as much as you would like. Or you can't play as passive as you would like because they're going to start going for everything. At the same time, if you do catch them being over aggressive, trying to catch up on the scoreboard, you a lot of the time will extend your lead even further because you caught them being too aggressive. And that's just the nature of the game, right? The attackers have to be more aggressive because if they don't score, then they don't win. And that leads to them being over aggressive. And if you play your cards right, you can capitalize on them being over aggressive. So you've got them in a good spot when you've got a lead towards the end of the game because you can try to capitalize on their mistakes. But bottom line is you got to start expecting them to go for everything when time's winding down and they're down a goal or two. That was fine. I'm really actually glad that you didn't make this touch. Like, it looks like, okay, I mean, he didn't do anything. He kind of just gave up his play, gave up his opportunity. But I really like that you didn't hit this ball with the positioning and the speed and the momentum you were coming in at it with, because if you hit this ball, all that's gonna happen is it's gonna bounce off of this back wall or bounce out this way, maybe bounce upwards, which could possibly be a good scoring opportunity, but isn't really worth it in terms of risk reward when you're up a goal, 43 seconds left. That your teammate going up for this would require a lot of skill and a lot of boost and would leave you in a 1v2 for a long time if you don't score off of it. So I like that you're not opting for this possible outcome. I like that you're not hitting the ball off the back wall because he's positioned to be able to go and counter it if it does come off this back wall. So not hitting the ball here actually was not a bad play. You still could have tried to stay behind the ball a little bit more to try to take a 50-50 here at the very least and disrupt your opponent. But what you did was definitely better than making a touch on that ball. So well done. Good recognition there. Really good demo from your teammate. Opens up a lot of space and ooh, so close, so close. So close. Okay. And then just really small little, tidbit. Try to keep those recoveries as smooth as possible. Right here, I'm giving you a little bit of advanced breakdown, on a couple of these. But, I want you to improve. I want you to get better. So I'm going to try to point out some things, some higher level things. Right? You notice you're landing coming down this way. And there's a nice little curve on the wall here. You can carry all your momentum or most of your momentum here if you actually start holding the reverse. Start reversing down this wall as you land, down this curve, and then half flip out. That's going to be your fastest recovery in this position. Notice how you choose to recover here versus how I would have chosen to recover here. Again, I would have carried my momentum down, start reversing, come down off this curve, and then half flip out. And you would have already been almost back in midfield at this point. Teamwork makes the dream work. Last chance for your opponents. Oh God. Oh God. Nice. All right, man. Yeah, I mean, the gameplay, you looking pretty good, dude. Looking pretty good. You got really good positioning and decision making for the most part. There's a couple of small little decisions that, you know, I pointed out that could have been better, but for the most part, you look, you know, like you know what you're doing for sure in terms of decision making and positioning and rotation. For the most part, not perfect, but pretty darn good. I would say what you need to work on is just overall mechanics at this point. I think you would benefit from just practicing your mechanics. I think you've got, you know, about 85% based off of this game, this replay. You've got about 85% of the decision making and you know, awareness of a grand champion level player, of me, right? Like 80% of the time while watching this game, you were positioned correctly, you were positioned optimally, and that's great. You're champ 2 and you've got about 80% of the correct decision making that would get you to high grand champion. I think, like I was putting out towards the end of this replay, you know, your recoveries could have been a little quicker. Your mechanics off the wall could be a little stronger, right? Off the ceiling when you tried setting up for that ceiling shot. Your double tap you could have scored, which was a good attempt, to be fair. You were really close. A couple of touches on the ball could have been better. It's just all mechanics at this point. I think you just need to work on your mechanics. When I was working on my mechanics a lot, I was doing workshop maps like Air Dribble Gauntlet. I was doing the rings maps. I was doing the obstacle course maps. I was doing a lot of freestyle training. I was practicing flip resets, double flip resets into musties, musty, you know, flip reset, musty double taps, ceiling musty double taps, which again, you don't need to utilize in a game, but practicing those mechanics definitely improves your mechanics overall. So, you know, just practice mechanics, improve your mechanics overall, because I think your decision making is really close to, you know, where it needs to be to get you to the next level. I think your positioning and your decision making is definitely good enough to get you to grand champion. I think it's just, you just need to improve your mechanics at this point. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave me a like on the video, leave me a comment down below, and you know what? Add into your comment down below, oatmeal cookie. That way I know that you made it to the end of the video, and that'll be our little secret code that nobody else knows what the hell you're talking about in the comments because they didn't make it to the end of the video. So comment down below, say something, but add that to your comment, oatmeal cookie. Leave a like, follow me on Twitch. Again, that link is in the description. Do it right now. Please go follow me on Twitch. Thank you. You won't regret it. And follow me on TikTok too. I know you guys got TikTok. Everyone's got TikTok nowadays. TikTok? Yeah. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.